Hey there, everybody. Aaron Rat's Tesla. Before we go on our full self-drive today, I just want to thank our sponsors for today's video, and that's Lessy Messy. I'm going to have the link in the description down below. I did do a video on the Lessy Messy. I'll put that video up above. It's such a cool product, a trunk protector. I've spilled on it, I've dumped stuff on it. You take it out, you throw it in the washer, you throw it in the dryer, and then you put it back in the car. And I'll tell you, it is held up to some pretty rigorous stuff that I've put it through in the last month. Again, I'll put a link in the description down below for this Lessy Messy trunk protector. They have them for Tesla Model 3 and Model Y right now. And I have a 15% off discount code. If you use Rats Tesla at checkout, you get 15% off. But I'll throw that down in the description down below. And let's get to our full self-drive. All right, hey there, Tesla fans. Aaron Rath here with you from Rats Tesla, and I want to do a test drive. I know everybody's waiting for 11.3 and 11.4. I'm on 11.4.2, and you know I'm kind of wanting 11.4.3, but I want to do a baseline drive to just kind of show you what mine looks like here. A couple tough situations. We've got a couple roundabouts, so we're gonna go on this drive and just kind of see how it handles things, and how 11.4.2 is working for me. I live in northern Colorado, a smaller town, neighborhood streets. This one doesn't have any lane markings on it. Car doing a good job staying to the right side. At the top of the hill, if you watch my videos in the past, we've got a difficult or a weird left turn, unprotected left, with fencing is out almost all the way to the corner. In the past, the car's handled it pretty well, but I've had a couple times where the car has stopped very short. So we're coming up on that corner. Let's see how it handles it now. So it's doing a good job location-wise. That truck took their turn a little bit wide, and now the car's got a very strong left-hand turn to it. We'll creep forward for visibility, and this is a tough corner, but the car handled it like a champ, exactly how I would want it to. It creeped forward till it could see, and then it went. It thinks the speed limit's 20 here. We'll bump it up to 30, and then we'll get going. Right-hand turn here. This one's a little blind to the left because there's a hill about 150 yards to the left, so it kind of has to let cars clear up the hill. Stopped a little too far back that time, a little farther than it has in the past, but it creeps forward and moves right through perfectly. Coming up to a weird situation, the car, in the past, it'll mess this up. What it needs to do, the left lane is actually a left turn lane and a straight. There is no lane for it to go in the middle. Wow, that was, it almost hit that median there. So it chose the correct lane, but now what it does in the past, all of a sudden, when my light turns green, it'll turn left instead of going straight. But because my directions are forcing me and it would have to go way up and around, I'm hoping that it realizes that we can go straight here when our light turns green. So we'll speed this up and we'll see how the car does. Right now the path planner shows that we're going to go straight across, but in the past it's done that, and then all of a sudden at the last second it'll decide to turn left. We should be getting our green light here shortly. I am not going to let it turn left if it decides to at the last second. I want to go straight, but we'll see how the car handles it here. There we go, there's our green light. And the car handled it exactly like it should have. It went across. That's really only the first time that it's done it correctly where it hasn't decided to turn left at the last minute, even when I've had this route in the system. So good job by Tesla there getting that one fixed. Very good right turn, a little wide on the corner. It could have cut it off a little bit, but I mean, that's a personal preference, not something that I think the car needs to do. Okay, now that we've got through that stop sign, we're going to go ahead and edit the trip. We'll delete this one out and go to the next one. Should give us plenty of time to navigate to the new one, to the next location. Taking its sweet time, still spinning there, and now we've got our correct navigation in. Car does a good job at the stop line. These three-way stops sometimes mess it up, and in this case that's exactly what it's doing. It's a little bit jarry there because I don't know what it's looking for. It's a three-way stop, so everybody has to stop. This one's a four-way stop, and the car usually handles these much better. Nice stop and nice go. Railroad tracks up here, not something that you really need to slow down too much for. They're not too bad, and the car doesn't slow down for them. The one thing I have noticed though is the lights for the railroad tracks show up as blue on the screen. Now we've got an unprotected left-hand turn. The cars on the left side are going 45, slowing down to 30. The cars coming from our right are going 30, and they'll speed up to 45. Car does a better job moving to the left side of the lane. Now it'll creep forward, and it's got space here. It can go, but it's got to go. Car does a very good job there, seeing where it could go, and goes right when it could. Some of you might notice that I don't have my hand on the wheel. My hand is near the wheel so I can take over if I need to. My foot is near the pedals if I need to. But I have the sexy buttons from and how to. I bought them through Abstract Ocean. I don't have a code for them, but in the sexy button there's one setting that you can do that when you see that you can push the button and it's just like touching the wheel, and so it just makes it easier. I have mine right underneath here under my handrest for the center console, so I just When the notice comes up, I hit the button and it's all good. I still keep my hand by the steering wheel in case I need to take over. I just don't have to put tons of pressure on it. Car doing a good job handling the tow truck on the side of the road here. Seems to be another vehicle in the road up here going a little bit slower. Like cars are going around. We'll see how the Tesla handles it. There are other vehicles going around. It looks like it is a tow truck. That's exactly what it is. And the guy stepping out, and the Tesla handles that perfectly. Goes up and goes around the tow truck. A little bit harsh on the brake there, but nothing that was uncalled for. Now we've got a spot here where we're gonna merge onto a state highway. It's 2 lanes each way. The car has got to get out of the right lane and move over because the right lane turns into a turn lane. So the car needs to merge, but we'll see if it does. In the past, it's had a little bit difficult with the merge and getting over, but you can see as we come up to it, there's a dotted line. There's no traffic to our left, so it should be able to merge right over into this left lane. The longer it waits, now we start getting into the right turn lane, as you can see. And the car finally, when this turns into a turn lane, makes a merge there. So that needs to be fixed. It needs to happen a little bit sooner on that merge. Something in the road there, I kind of wish the car would have navigated around. I barely saw it, and the car ran it right over, but like I said, I didn't see it till the last minute, so I don't even know that I would have been able to dodge it. Does a good job stopping at the stoplight, not too hard on the stopping, nice and steady roll to the stop line. Now we get the green light and we go. In about 1.7 miles, we've got to make a left-hand turn. We've got plenty of time. I like the fact that the car is staying in this lane on this part of this state road, the state highway. Cars like to go by fast. You can see I'm going 59 and a 55, and I'm getting past pretty steadily on my left-hand side. So I like that the car is remaining in this lane, and it should do so until we approach the next light, and then it needs to start looking for its spot to get over. Now there's a couple cars coming up on my left. You can see that one there. And then there will be one right behind it. And then after that one, it should try and merge over. It'll have plenty of room to merge with about a half mile to go. But it's gonna have to slow down here. You can see that car just getting in to the blind spot. And then there's another one quickly coming up. But the car's gonna have to do it now. Except for now there's a Nissan flying into our spot. So you can see the car slowing down, doing a good job. It needs to slow down here and get over. Very good merge over into the lane just in time to make our left-hand turn. Nice slow down, nice move over to the left-hand turn lane. Now this is a protected left turn, but this is a very quick arrow, so we'll see if we make it through on the green arrow or if we'll have a spot where we have to sit and wait. Looks like we will make it through. The car decides to go through on the yellow arrow. I would have done the same, so that's a good move. Go ahead and edit our trip. Oh no, I forgot. I need to wait. I don't know why it's doing this. Car used left-hand turn lane to try and go straight. I've had it do that on 11.4.2. I know we've seen Dirty Tesla have that issue with that, but I just get it every once in a while. I am running on the average profile. I moved it over to chill so you could see, but I am in the average profile. Minimum lane changes is not selected. So now that we're past this sign, we'll go ahead and edit our trip and remove that stop and then get it to go home. And I don't know why we're stopping here. I'm going to press the gas to go through, the accelerator to go through, because it wants to do a U-turn. I ended up, that one was on me. I U-turn and go back. It didn't used to want to do that. It used to be that I could make that left-hand turn and immediately change it. Now we've got to watch this because it's going to turn in one too soon. Oh, it caught itself. It realized that it was going to be too soon, that there was a median there. Now it'll get over into the proper left-hand turn lane. So in the past, it would just get in that left-hand turn lane too soon. Then you'd be stuck, have to pull back out, go around the median, and get back in the turn lane. But now, at least it corrected itself. I don't like the fact that it got in the lane, but it at least corrected itself. This is a protected left with a green arrow. Car did a good job getting in the left lane, getting up to speed, and doing exactly what it needed to do. That was a great left turn. Those signs there for the school zone, the car picked up, I don't know if you noticed, the car picked those up as traffic control signs, and that made it slow down just a smidgen, just a skosh, to catch those signs. They were flashing yellow, but then the car just went right through it. But it did slow us down a couple miles per hour. One giant lane here now, and it merges, but you can see the car, how it kind of centers over. That's because the right lane merged into the left lane, but the car did a good job moving back over and now following into the single lane of flow of traffic. Got a pickup up here that's driving slow, and he's driving in the shoulder and putting on his flashers. We'll see how the car handles this. It should just go right around it. I'd like to see him move to the car move to the left a little bit, but it's treating this truck like it's in another lane. Not 100% pleased there. If I would have been driving, I would have slid over probably 50% into the suicide lane there, just to give that guy a little bit more room. Got a dump truck in the middle of the road here, slowing down traffic. Not sure what he's doing, backing in here. Car does a good job waiting on things, and then when traffic goes, it goes. Good job at the stoplight. Now we're coming up to 2 roundabouts. The first roundabout, the car needs to stay on the inside lane and go past the first exit into the second exit to go straight across the roundabout. It's typically handled this pretty well. I haven't done it with a lot of traffic. I've typically done it when there's been nobody on the road. Right now I do have a bunch of cars behind us, couple cars in front of us, so we'll see how it does, but it needs to stay on the inside lane. Good job. We'll see how it handles this. It's coming to a more of a stop than I'd like, and it went through on its own. Very good on that roundabout. Good speed going through, and now it'll pick up speed coming out of the roundabout. That was perfect. All right. Now we're going to come up on another one, and this next one's kind of tricky because the traffic pattern has changed. It used to be car tried to go into the right lane. Car tried to use right merge lane to go straight. So it needs to actually go to the outside lane of this next roundabout, not the inside lane. The inside lane actually sticks you into a left-hand turn on the other side, which is not the move we want to make. But because they changed it, so many people get confused by the way to handle this traffic circle that it's surprising when a normal person handles it. And I got to hit the accelerator to get us to go through. It did choose the right lane, but it was going to stop at that entrance. And now it's slowing down by a lot because where I live, they've got this silly rule that if the roads aren't marked, it'll go 25 miles an hour. For some reason, it's 45 on the other side of that roundabout, but when we come out of the roundabout, the car thinks it's unmarked, and so it puts it down to 25 miles per hour, even though the speed limit is 45. Now we'll get a sign right here for 45 miles an hour, and the car will recognize it, and it'll change it, and we'll be set to our offset. But for some reason, that little gap, it thinks that the speed limit should be 25, and it will slow us down quite drastically. I have a spot up here where I have a left-hand turn lane, but the car doesn't try to get into the left-hand turn lane. It tries to get into the part where people can merge into my lane after the left-hand turn. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'll probably have to kick the car out and intervene when we get to that spot. Because see, it doesn't turn left here. It doesn't get into the lane here. It's going to get in. Maybe it won't because there's cars in front of me. I've never had cars in front of me before, but look, I'm gonna let it do it because I'm far, there's no cars far enough away, but now it'll realize, oh crap, I can't do that, and it'll get back over into the lane of traffic. Normally I would intervene there, but because the cars that are behind me are way behind me, I've got room, I let it play out so you could see it. those are some of the small things that it really needs to fix in 11.4.3 for me, and 11.4.4, which I saw today rolled out to employees today. So the first wave of OG testers should get it hopefully in the next couple days, and then I don't know when I get it. I've been a tester for almost 2 years, and sometimes I'll get it like in the second wave, but like now I still have 11.4.2. I haven't even gotten 11.4.3 yet. So I'm never consistent on when I get the new update. And so that's why in the past I have not made a lot of FSD drive videos, because by the time I do my drive, you've seen everybody else do theirs. I'm going to try and get back into it and do the drives now, but hopefully I start getting the updates a little bit sooner and not near the end, so I can make videos when everybody else is making them. And I know it's different everywhere. Like I said, I'm in northern Colorado, and so, you know, our traffic and the way the roads are striped and the way everything done is very different. But, you know, it's good to see how the car and how Full Self Drive Beta handles traffic and driving in all different situations. All right, we got a green light and a green arrow, and so we get to go straight through. When the car clears traffic, we go. And we've made it through a lot of the hard parts of the drive. Well, what I would call hard parts. And there's not a lot of traffic. It's not like the super difficult drive. It's situational driving that I put it through. It's not like a lot of pedestrians and a lot of downtown driving like you see on Dirty Tesla. I don't have that big bad unprotected left like Chuck down in Florida. I have more situational, a couple roundabouts, a couple unprotected lefts, just different things that the car does. This left-hand turn used to suck, but they fixed it. It does so much better now. It's very smooth, it turns very good, and then it gets into the lane and we're good to go. Right here, the car does recognize this speed limit 20 sign, so you'll notice that my speed will drop down to 20 and probably make the car behind me very mad, but they'll get over it because, I mean, it's 30 and cars fly down this road. A little bit of herky-jerky on the wheel there, and then a hard brake. I don't know if it was that truck or what it was, but the car finished the turn well. Sometimes I think that the car gets tired of regular ICE cars with human drivers being on its tail, and every once in a while I think it just feels like it wants to do a brake check or something. That's what it feels like. But that'll really do it for today's drive. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get back into making these videos. I'll see if I can make them a little bit harder as we handle these situations easier. But make sure you get down there, drop a like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel. That helps us out. And we'll catch you in the next video as we pull back into the neighborhood and the car slows down for this little cowboy on his bicycle. Good finish to this drive.